I am a massive fan of soft lighting in my films, and what I really like to do is to take a location and take a shot that looks like this and turn it into a shot that looks like this. So in this video, here's how I did that. My starting plate was this. We've got something fairly flat. I'm shooting on a Canon C100, but you can achieve this with any camera. Our ISO is 3200, shutter speed is 1/50th of a second, we're at f3.2 with a white balance of 3200 Kelvin. We want to make this more flattering, as this is just the overhead lights in the room and this feels very flat to look at. Both the foreground and the background are equally exposed, so there is no depth in the image. The first thing we do is take the ISO down on the camera from 3200 to 850. I'm shooting in Canon C-Log, and this is the native ISO for the C100. With the ISO of 850, we're still letting in some of the ambient light from the room. The next thing I do is set up my key light. In this case, it is my Pixapro Venix 1500S, and I've got a full CTO gel to match. The Venix 1500S has its own softbox attachment, which gives me a generally soft light across the face, while spilling a little bit onto the background. There is still a nice separation though. To add to the separation, I bring in a second light. My Aperture H528S with the Easy Box grid and a full CTO gel. I set the light to about 35% power and angle it down at a 45-degree angle, just like the Venix 1500S. I wanted the lighting to look natural, not overpowering, but enough to give shape to the face. Both lights are angled from above to simulate the overhead lighting. Just for reference, this is what the hair light is doing on its own. Now we've got our lighting sorted, here is a before and here is the after with our lighting. And now with color correction. Now this is great if you have the lighting ability to do this. But what if we don't have room to put lights up? What if we simply just don't have that ability? The simplest way to do this is to diffuse the overhead lights. Actually, the simplest way to do this would be with diffusion paper. I sadly couldn't find my diffusion paper while I was doing this, so I used a 5-in-1 reflector with the diffusion side and raised it up to the ceiling lights until it softened the light to where I wanted it to be. I had to raise my ISO to 1600 to keep equal exposure, but I still kept my 3200 white balance f3.2 at a 50th of a second. But it's still giving me a nice soft light on the face whilst also giving me a nice shadow roll off. With a tiny little bit of noise reduction, this is a really solid solution for those of you who can't afford or can't find the space to put up lights. Thanks for watching, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, click like, click subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.